Welcome back. Welcome back to the Mad Tea Party. We have a familiar face this evening. Christian Northover joins us once again. Thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's always fun. I always just get to see you at shows. I'm sure we said this last time, so it's nice to just like see you. Like we've been hanging out for half hour already, so it's
Yeah.
just yeah,
Yeah. It always ends up being a good conversation.
yeah. Always I like weird things and it seems like you like weird things, so
Those are among my favorite kinds of things.
they're the best things,
Yeah.
honestly.
Speaking of weird things, your new EP, your second EP, Babylon, is out now.
Yes, it is out now. We're recording this in the past, but it is
Yeah.
so if we slip up and I say like it's
Yeah.
coming out on Friday, no, it's out now. Uh, but yeah, it is so much fun. And yeah, it is weird. It definitely was weird in concept, intent, and execution.
Yeah, yeah, you put up you so we just listened to it, which was insane, and then you showed us a video that's on your Instagram of you performing it
Yeah.
at real speed.
At real speed, yeah. Haters are going to say that it's sped up, but it's not. It's real speed. The EP is 3 songs and 1 minute and 42 seconds long.
Yeah,
No, I just posted up the fast video, obviously.
yeah, yeah. And also Bunny Roo, you're going to
Bunny
be
Roo.
playing Bunny Roo.
Yeah, I'm psyched about that.
Yeah,
Thank you
me
for
too.
having me on for
Oh,
that. I haven't like gotten a chance to actually thank you, but y'all were some of the first people that I messaged when I wanted to actually start booking shows.
yeah.
So just thank you for believing that I could actually do it live because honestly, at the time that I sent that to you, I didn't know if I could. I was just hoping you said yes, so I had to figure it out.
Oh, dude, it is thanks for being a part of it. It's an honor to have you, man. Like you're so fucking talented and I support anything that you do.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And don't miss that. Show starts at 7. Christian goes on at 7. You're not going to want to miss it. It's all drums and effects, and it is just a really wild time if you haven't seen what he does. It's so sick.
It's a lot of fun. I hope it inspires some people to like try some weird things because it's been honestly one of the most inspiring things recently for me. And when people see it, they get excited about, pedal. So yeah, I hope you come out and I hope you get excited too. So
Hell yeah. That's gonna be April 3rd. When this goes up, it'll be this Friday um, at the East Side Bowl in the 58 room, directly to your left when you walk in. Uh, it's 6 awesome artists back to back, and I'm very excited for y'all to see them all. Yeah, when you reached out to us, like shit, like maybe a year ago about it.
yeah, it was late last year sometime.
Yeah, which like Spirit Rituals played Bunny Roo in the past as well. But when you messaged, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like I don't have no idea what we're doing, but you can definitely be a part of it.
Yeah, no, you were just like, yeah, message Neef and we'll get you in there.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
no question. Uh, yeah, we try really hard to have like a variety show. Like we have a stand-up comedian is good doing like right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
And it's just a very wide variety of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Which I love. I don't know if you know, but I actually play in a variety show in Nashville.
Oh yeah. Tell me more about that. You've told
Uh,
me about this before.
yeah, Jay Bragg's new vaudeville. So we do most like as far as the music goes, we're drawing on the classic vaudeville, playing a lot of those tunes that they would have played in the 20s and 30s in those theaters. But we do the full variety show thing. So not only like guest musicians and guest singers, but we'll bring up sword swallowers, fire spinners, people on stilts, like comedians, magicians. We for our St. Patty's Day show, we had river dancers and a strongman.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's just my girlfriend sang as a mermaid at one of them.
That
And
is so cool.
Yeah, we've been doing that around and touring that around, and it is just a lot of fun to do.
Hell yeah. I guess I didn't realize that it was like you had all that going on. Is there one coming up in Nashville anytime soon?
Uh, the I don't know when the next one is. We just did our St. Patty's Day bash
Hmm.
down at the Five Spot. And I know once the 4th of July comes, we're gonna start coming around. We've gone through a couple of different iterations.
Hmm.
This started as so I gotta say, Jay Bragg is the band leader. Go check out Jay Bragg, Jay Bragg's new vaudeville, King Kazoo and the Reindeer Band, which is how it started, which
Hmm.
was a Christmas band.
Yeah.
So it was to spread joy in the latter months of the year. But Jay and I, we like, and John Hibbert, who has been our bass player the whole time, um, and Renee, who's our fiddle player, they're both amazing. We just want to spread more joy all year round. So then we do the variety show. Sometimes we have a horn section, sometimes not. When we started the actual vaudeville thing, we had the same setup with the horn section, the tuba, clarinet, and it morphs, each time. We had traditional Irish instruments for the St. Patty's Day thing.
Wow.
But now we're doing seasons in new vaudeville. So uh, for major holidays, we have a variety show specific to that. So St. Patty's Day, we're going to do a 4th of July one. And we are, as hard as it is to celebrate America in its current state necessarily, we as a group celebrate what it could be and
I
what
love that.
it actually could represent.
Yeah. I love that. I totally understand what you're saying. It's where like America, I mean, America is always kind of like the butt of the joke
Yeah.
and on like the world stage, but like I would say especially right now, um I don't think anyone's really happy with America inside or outside of the country.
I mean, it normally is the butt of the joke. Now it's just the butt. Like that's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right because it's not really that funny anymore.
No, and
Yeah.
like Jay is very outspoken about, how he feels about everything that's going on, and you know, the fuck ICE, and like, all of that. And so that show is definitely going to be celebrating what America can be.
Hell yeah.
Like our St. Patty's Day show was celebrating the immigrant, and more specifically at that time, the Irish immigrant, what they brought, like what traditions they passed down, but under the umbrella that, hey, immigration is what makes this country what it is, and we should celebrate that diversity, because there are very few people that can trace their line here past,
Sure.
1900, let alone 16 or 15. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think St. Patty Day is another great example of like, let's find a way to uh, enjoy this, but not glorify like the bad parts of history. Like,
yeah,
like I think a lot of holidays are like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All of them have something, or were co-opted from something else in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Or it's just straight up capitalism that.
Yeah. Yeah. Xmas rather than Christmas. Like, just it's about buying things.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy times we're living in.
Yeah.
It's
But
wild.
anyway, we have a fun variety show that will let you escape from that. And we'll probably hand you a kazoo at some point, and we'll ask you to play it. We're a sound person's nightmare when we get the entire audience to play Jingle Bells on a kazoo.
Hell yeah.
We made the mistake of doing that early in the night one time. That was one time that we made that mistake, because the rest of the night was a lot of kazoo that we were not anticipating.
Oh, you handed out all these kazoos expecting people to use them responsibly.
Yeah,
big
and
mistake.
it's a it's a 2 hour show, so people are drinking as the time goes on and just getting louder and louder.
That's awesome. That
Yeah.
sounds so much fun. I'll definitely be at the July 4th one. That's so
Yeah,
sick.
and we're gonna be doing a more standard one pretty soon, where we have like a we're gonna be having a big band soon. So, well, swing band. I don't know
Sure.
how big it will be, but in the
Yeah.
style of like the
That kind of music.
yeah Louis Prima.
Yeah.
And there's a new club that's opening up that it seems like we're gonna have a residency down there. Don't want to say the name of the club,
Sure.
who owns it, or when that might happen,
Yeah.
but this is all things that I've heard.
That's
So
awesome, man.
yeah,
Yeah, you told me about the King Kazoo stuff last time you were on.
yeah.
I've been meaning to get out to one of those. I'm so glad to hear you're doing that like more throughout the year too.
Yeah, I was playing in his band throughout the year. The band, like when he went up to tour in New England, I went with him to do that drummer as his drummer. His other drummer that plays with him downtown, kind of is going to stay downtown a lot of the time. And also because it's New England, I have family and stuff that
Oh,
we can
right on.
stay at. So then he saves money on tour. But I like to think that it's just because of my stellar personality and playing. So,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, it's a fun time, and it's definitely different, which I've come to realize is what going back to being weird. I am seeming to be in just weird different projects
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw you was Blam Blams at Lipstick Lounge, like
Way
forever
back
ago.
then,
Yeah.
yeah.
And dude, like everything you've been in is just so sick and so different from everything else, like so different from every other project.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it's just I just love playing, and so I get the work that I can.
yeah.
And I think from being in all these weird things, like when someone has a weird idea, they're like, "Oh, let's call up Christian and and do the
You're the
weird
guy.
thing." Yeah, like I'm not necessarily getting the first call for anyone's country record,
Mm.
but like when someone is like, I need my vocals processed through drums or through guitar pedals, can you help? I'm like, yes. Or when they're like, we're rescoring horror movies from the 20s, can you come do that for us? It's like,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I want to do.
Hell
So
yeah. Yeah, you told me about that before too. Excited to
yeah.
hear that. That's sick.
I'm excited to do it. It's gotten pushed off like due to the ice storm and then
Mm-hmm.
sickness, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm doing that yeah, with the Poptimist and then Isaac Short from the Weird Sisters. So that's just gonna be
That
it's gonna be sick time.
What a super group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. So excited. So let's talk more about Babylon. So
Yeah.
this is your second EP. Your first one, Wizards Made Me Do It, was fire. And it's funny because all those songs on Wizards Made Me Do It, like, are very different from each other. But it's funny because I feel like looking at that compared to Babylon, it's like their own things,
Yeah.
like no track on Babylon would be on Wizards Made Me Do It and vice versa.
Absolutely. And I mean, some of that just comes from the nature of it being the second time. Because the first time we did it, truly had no idea what to expect, how it was going to work. Going in this time, I was like, okay, I understand how the workflow is going to go. I understand some of the pain points that will make this harder in the long run. And I also kind of understand like where fun restrictions I could place on myself are, or in, just in creation. The way because it's different how I do it live versus in studio. So in studio, I'm recording all the drums with no feedback. It's just drums and a click track
Okay.
that I'm recording. And I have no idea what it's going to sound like at the end.
Wow, interesting.
And then we do all the drums in one day for everything. That day that I did Babylon, which is one drum track that we divided into 3 songs for the EP, we did 19 others.
Oh wow.
So I have a backlog of stuff that's gonna keep
Nice.
coming out. And Oh, speaking of that, I'm always looking for artists. I'm not rich. I will probably pay you $100 for a piece of art, but I would love to pay you $100 for art. So get in contact with me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we recorded all the drums, and then the next day it's like, okay, let's start pumping this through pedals. And for Babylon specifically, like I had specific rules for each of the three parts of it because I wanted it to be like a suite. Its working title was the Chimp Chump Suite. um, yeah. So the first track on it was inspired by a bonobo track.
Okay.
So it was me trying to basically play like the hit, like the drum part that's happening there, and then a tom melody that kind of mirrors what the bass was doing there. And then I told and then when we went to record it, I was like, there's not going to be any toms in this mix. We are going to take them all out. Those are all just going to be pedaled. So like you don't actually hear any toms on it, but the song is mostly tom.
Interesting.
And then the second track, the rule was a request from the person whose pedal board I was borrowing at the time that they wanted just a bass drum at quarter notes at 120 BPM for 2 minutes. And that's what they wanted to do something over. And I said, that's awesome. Let's do
Hell
that.
yeah.
So, and then the last part was like, I just don't want to hit the snare drum. So what am I going to do there? So with those rules, I just played the three parts and I try to do it like how I think a jazz record would have been done in such that I don't go back and punch anything in. Like the take is the take. And it just so happened that this was first take. There were flubs here and there, but I'm throwing it through guitar pedals so I can make that flub sound like anything and repeat forever. And then it's no longer a mistake. Now it's just part of it.
Yeah.
So uh, it was different in how I conceived it. It wasn't just like, oh, here's a groove and like, how would I solo over the groove? It was like, no, I'm going to have this kind of play out in a way.
That's awesome. It's interesting how setting like certain um like uh railing on things can really make creativity flow. Like when you set guardrails is what I mean on stuff to like keep it confined to something or like leave something out, like really opens up. I think that's like it helps to make ideas happen, you know?
Definitely. And especially now that I'm doing it live, I have invested in this pedal board. I am playing drums through it. There is very little content out there to see like what drums sound like through any given guitar pedal.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is trial and error, seeing how these things work. And if I'm like, okay, I'm trying to come up with something that I'm going to play like at Bunny Roo or something, if I am focusing on like, okay, how can I make all these pedals work together? I'm never going to get anything done because I'm going to hit a bass drum and then like turn half a dozen knobs and then hit it again and then turn like another half dozen knobs and like never get anywhere. But if I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit the bass drum and I'm going to use this pedal with these other ones in this same setting, then it's like, okay, what can I actually do with this now that I have this starting point?
Yeah.
I can make anything because when I have everything, then it's like
Overwhelmed.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool. Even you were talking about just like working out like it was one take. There's gonna be like minor things you maybe would have done differently, but like it happened the way it happened. And then even working with that would kind of create some like some grooves and like channels to and ideas to flow.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Like there's I'm just gonna expose myself. The when the snare drum and octobon come in on the third track. This is for all your listeners that are going to stream this and listen to it on repeat and want to know all the details. The fourth set of those hits are like, we're way out of time. And like they hurt my soul. But like I had just recorded 7.5 minutes, and that was the thing that I was upset about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to punch in. I really don't want to try and have to go back just because I want to see how much I can get done today.
Yeah.
Because I might not use it all, but I want to see and have all these things
Sure.
that I could possibly use. So then when it came to pedals, just thinking about that old jazz adage, if you make a mistake, play it again, then it's intentional.
Yeah.
Well, if I make a mistake and then I repeat it 1,000 times in like 4 seconds, then it's definitely intentional. Like I'm making you listen to that thing. And then it becomes intention after the fact.
Yeah, was it? I think Miles Davis. It's not the note you play; it's the note you play after. Something like that. Yeah, yeah. That's what Miles Davis definitely comes to mind with the recording process you're talking about too. Like I know his album "Bitches Brew" is just like they just recorded all of this shit and then just like on like back in the day, like on tape, he's just stitching things together just meticulously. Is like, yeah, I love that like hardcore artistry, like blood, sweat, and tears shit is so cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's something very different than anything that I'm otherwise used to. Like otherwise I'm, playing drums in a band, and this is honestly horrifying. So like it's probably really good for me to do it.
I think it's so cool that you're like, I want to do this. I don't know how to do it. I'm just going to figure it out as I go. That's sick.
Yeah. And I feel really good about having done that.
It sounds great.
Like what was it? I was at a party the other day. You were at the party the other day, and someone came up to me and they were like, hey, I've seen your videos on Instagram and you're the drum guy. And I was like, yeah. And we started talking about gear and everything. And I told him about how I had everything set up. And he said, oh, wow, that's like really well thought out. And I went, thank you. like I did not know barely anything. Like I recorded that first album and retained very little knowledge about like what guitar pedals actually did. Or like how any of the knobs actually interacted with each other. But like, fast forward a year and a half, and then that's what I hear. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like I did think about this.
Do you remember like the inception of what made you want to do stuff with effects pedals in the first place?
I can remember the inception of that and wanting to do a solo drum show. So the pedals, it started soon after I started dating my girlfriend, Farron. She had a friend who runs a studio, Porter Rose Studio. His name's Alex Sanchez. And he was just like, hey, I want to try some weird things with drums, miking things up weird ways, maybe running them through some guitar pedals. And I was like, sick.
Is that where you recorded?
That's where I've recorded everything.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's sick. Shout out Alex Sanchez, Porter Rose.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
Shout out to that guy.
He's done so much cool shit.
Oh, so much. And I make him work so hard on this bullshit. So like I really appreciate the hell out of that guy.
He used to be in a band called Koala Tea Party.
Oh yeah.
And they played when I still lived in Columbia, Tennessee. And they played, it was him, Michael Carter, and Devin Arnold. And this was probably 10 years ago. And I just remember Alex had a claw hammer and was like using that almost like a violin bow.
Oh, whoa.
It was nuts, man.
Wow.
But yeah, that dude is a madman, mad genius. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, and then we did that day just like trying things out. And I was like, that was sick. We got to do this for real. And he and Rob Stewart, who had the pedal board, who's helped me with all this and has been in a ton of bands with me and I've traveled all over the country with. He was also like, yeah, you got to do this. So then just booked studio time and did it 2 months later. And that became Wizards made me do it.
Hell yeah.
Um, but like shortly after I played the show, I did my first drums and pedal show at the Twisted Tea Garden back in February. And shortly after that, I uh, was texting one of my friends from back home that I've known literally my entire life. We were born 2 months apart, grew up 2 houses away from each other, and we're like always best friends. Um, he's an actor now, does a bunch of cool voiceover work. Go check out some of his movies. His name is Chris Trindade. He did what is it? Pompo the Cinephile, which was distributed by Ghibli Kids over here, and then another anime for Netflix, 1,000 yards, 1,000 meters, something about it's a running anime. But yeah, back when I was a teenager, his dad took me out for breakfast one time, and I told him like I would love to do this thing where it's just me playing crazy music with the drums. I don't know how I would do that, but that I like flash back to that conversation. It's like, oh, this is
Right on. So that's an idea it's been in the back burner for a long time.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a solo musician, but like I don't really want to be the drummer that starts playing guitar. Like no shade to any of that.
Sure.
That's awesome. Like it just wasn't for me.
It's insane the way like because I was at that Twisted Tea Garden show and just like the way it's such a big sound and it's just you. It's just really impressive how much you can do just you on the drums. It's nuts.
It's cool and like a lot of it, like when I did that show, there was only two mics on the drums. There was one on the snare, one on the bass drum, and then it's the pedals doing a lot of heavy lifting. But like the way that it's set up is that I'm able to have a lot of these pedal chains that kind of work independently of each other, but also with each other to make that happen.
Yeah.
In a cool way. So I think about it like I'm kind of controlling all these different instruments, but they're with really temperamental, chaotic musicians that only do something when I turn their knobs. So
yeah,
but it's a lot of fun. It is a lot. It was a lot to work through. Feedback sucks. But
have you had any like weird so the last time you came on we ended up talking about math a lot.
Yeah.
And just sort of like abstract philosophical stuff with math. You had any weird like number synchronicities, or I guess not necessarily just in the realm of math, but you had any weird happenings since like last time we talked?
Yeah. So actually, that show, my first drums and pedal show, which was my first ever solo show ever, was exactly 10 years after the first show I ever played in Nashville.
No shit.
Yeah, 10 years to the day, February
That's wild.
13th, 2016, and then February 13th, 2026.
How intentional was that?
None. I finished playing
wow.
and then like looked at my phone and there was a Facebook memory.
Oh my God. 10 years to the day.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was an acoustic duo. The first gig was an acoustic duo. I played in a Mexican restaurant in Antioch, but it was the first gig that I played after I moved here. And then
that is so cool. That gives me like this, when things like that happen, it just raises a lot of questions for me, like obviously no one knows, but what does that make you like think when things like that happen?
I mean, something like that seems almost, I don't know. I mean,
right. Like no one does.
No one does. It's hard to say it's anything other than chance, but it's certainly cool. Like of all things, it's definitely cool.
Yeah.
I think as opposed to like an outside thing, it definitely makes me think more because I moved to Nashville and they're like, it's a 10-year town. And then I've like these perfect 10 this perfect 10-year
Mm.
like marker of like my first gig to like my first solo gig, like everything that's happened in between, which has been a wild 10
Mm.
years. um all kinds of good and terrible things.
Yeah, that's life.
That's life, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. Yeah, whenever I think about these kind of things, like I guess like happenstance versus design, or like God versus not God. I think I like come back to that sort of I have this intuition that I can't really explain, but it's not, that's sort of the wrong question. It's neither that nor not that. It's
Mm,
sort of like where it's outside of the scope because we're in it, so we can't look
yeah.
outside of that. But I think maybe it's not so. We like to put things in this box of logic, like, and make it fit neatly into sort of like a human framework. But reality is like under no obligation to behave under the laws as we understand them,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
And it's exactly that. It's as we understand them.
Yeah.
Like all of our understanding isn't we talked about this last time. I think that it's what we understand is not an objective truth,
Mm.
because like it is just the limit of our understanding in a way. Like like you said, like we're existing in it. We can only observe the things that we can observe, but like we don't necessarily know like what's happening
Hmm.
either behind the scenes, way before, way out there.
Yeah,
Like we're very limited in our scope.
for sure. I think, and this really doesn't, this is like evidential, but not proof exactly. But I think about like the alchemical principle of as above, so below. So it's like right now we're doing this thing with AI, as a humanity is doing this weird thing. And, there's sort of like the Turing test question has existed before like large language models,
Yeah.
but like it's sort of been like a question for a long time is like, is AI capable? Is it conscious? Is it capable of consciousness? And then it's like, well, we can't even begin to answer that question because like the question then becomes, are we conscious?
Yeah.
You know, like we haven't figured that out. And it's like, before we can even ask that question, we need, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What is that? What are you like? What is consciousness? What are you trying to say exactly? So it's
Yeah.
like we're nowhere even close to those kind of questions because they're not even the right question. It's like,
Right.
yeah,
It's I mean the whole I I have no idea
well,
where
yeah,
AI is going to end up or what that's going to end up looking like. What is your relationship with AI? Like what relationship do you have with it?
currently, it's funny you'd ask. I'll just be so honest.
Yeah.
I use it for like, pretty much my primary function that I use it for is to like write smut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like not quite like a companion,
Yeah.
but like erotic fiction
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
pretty much my only relationship with it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just
I
being so honest.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that
Yeah.
candid.
Which it's pretty fucking good at. Like
Yeah.
the thing about it, like, I don't really like watch porn, and
Mm.
because this has like you can get like so specific, you know,
Yeah.
and like I don't even really use it so much for like image generation as much as like narratives,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
know,
No, I got you.
and it's like what's kind of like cool about that is that you can like really fine tune it to whatever you want it to do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my relationship with it. What about you?
Mostly currently I just use it in like my day job work.
Yeah.
Because I hate my day job
Mm.
work. So like, and I mean this might be a hot take, but I personally think that the jobs that with computers, that computers are probably better at doing than we are, we probably should let computers do.
Sure.
Like we should let computers do accounting before we let them do music.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like hot take, I'm kind of okay with it. And that might just
Hmm.
be that I'm burnt out on my job.
Yeah.
But like that's where I'm using it, is to fill in those gaps. I'm like, oh, I this is a manual process that takes me hours and it's mind numbing. And like if I can have if I can vibe code a script that is within the parameters of like my company, like letting me do that and not breaking any contracts or anything like that, then I'm going to use that to help me do my work. And like,
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not nearly like I know this is like a controversial subject, but I'm like I don't really have a problem with AI conceptually. Like there are plenty of things I think it's obvious utility. And
yeah,
the thing like what you're talking about too is like, well, if you don't use it, like all your competition is, like what are you doing?
yeah. I
Like,
mean, like in as far as like my job, like I mean, yeah, that's the idea that they would have about AI.
mm,
Mine is I don't like my job.
yeah.
Like I just don't want to. I don't want to have to sit and type set
Yeah, it's like a
numbers into
quality of
cells.
life thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so like that's where it comes from.
And it
Like
frees up more time for you to do things you actually want to do. Or, in the case of work, like you can apply yourself to things that actually need your attention and sort of automate the processes that are like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to like because I'm a team lead at work. So like if something goes wrong, it's my job to fix it. So if I'm able to like do something so that it just won't go wrong for anyone, then I also don't have to fix it. So then it just makes it easier. But that's kind of how I've worked at this job even before large language models, making templates and
Hmm.
stuff that made life easier. It was
Yeah.
just it just helped accelerate that. But like yeah, that's the large extent of it. The other thing that I used it for regularly was when I had a D&D campaign I was running and they walked to somewhere that I didn't know where they were going, or they were like, we want to explore every room of this 90 room mansion. I'd be like, make 90 rooms, describe them.
Yeah.
Stuff something like that. And not like, oh, build the campaign for them, but like I didn't think of what could be in 90 rooms to make them distinct in any possible way because I have a job and play in 5 bands.
Yeah.
So like
Like I'm not super pessimistic about it, but like at the same time, I am like because sort of like I understand people being upset about it, and like I shared those feelings, but also like for me the thing is it's like well like I don't know what to tell you because this isn't going anywhere. I'm like kind of doomer about it where it's like wherever this is headed, it's headed there.
I
Like
mean,
we're not putting this back in the it's not going away. Like this is happening.
it's out the bottle. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that it's like
We just have to learn to adapt instead of like resisting it. We need to learn to adapt so it doesn't totally fuck us.
I mean, it's not I don't necessarily think that that's even like a doomer sentiment to be
Mm.
like it's here. Like it is, like you said that and my immediate thought was like the serenity prayer.
Mm.
We didn't go over this last time, but I quit drinking like 6 years ago and
Yeah.
went to
Congratulations.
thank you, and went to AA and all that. But you know grant me what is it, the courage to accept things I cannot change, the strength to change the
Mm.
things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Mm.
Like I can't I can't do anything about AI. I They're the things that like I don't want them to just like ransack the country and build data centers everywhere and
Mm.
take everyone's clean water and
Yeah.
make it super noisy. Like that's not what I want. I, as a singular person, like the only thing I can do is limit my, or, you know, def- clearly define my relationship with AI, like
Mm.
what I want it to be, because I don't want it to slip. into
Sure.
all aspects of my life. I don't want to lose necessarily my ability to think certain things out. Like I like being able to problem solve certain things, and I like exercising those muscles in my brain. But like I also don't want to in 5 years when I'm nearing 40 being like, I never got into that chat GPT and my life is great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I mean, it is super destructive, and you do have to be responsible, like you're saying. Like, just because it's there doesn't mean you need to like bow to it and let it dominate your life. You have to have like respect, like for yourself, and like set boundaries with that kind of stuff for sure. And it like there's the like ecological consequences. Ecological?
Yeah.
Is that what I meant? Yeah, I think that's right. But like, yeah, like the water usage and the
Yeah,
data
yeah.
centers, like that's all a huge problem. That is, and we gotta. I mean, I don't know what can we do about that. I guess we could burn them down. We could just blow them
Well,
up.
I mean, the hope, this is my hope, is that there's at least, because this is capitalism.
Hmm.
So these people don't want to pay for water or
Mm,
electricity or anything either. So my hope is that there is like enough innovation and they're even
mm,
using the AI itself to
hmm.
try and figure out better solutions.
Right. As the technology gets better, it's going to be less resource demanding.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting some of these companies that are trying to do something and like again, it's just like I don't know if this is the best thing. Like, I don't know if it's the best thing that Microsoft bought 3 Mile Island. I love nuclear power. I mean, like, and
Hmm. It's
maybe
clean.
it's
It's clean
it's
power.
clean. There's a lot of things can go wrong, but like
Yeah, that too.
as long as you like
That too.
actually keep up with it, like it should go right. But I don't necessarily know how I feel about Microsoft owning that
Yeah,
thing.
no, yeah, yeah. Anything Microsoft does, probably evil,
Yeah.
probably doing evil over there.
And I
Yeah.
don't know about dropping, huge data centers in the ocean just to keep them cool, or hosting them on satellites. Like that could be cool, but we have enough space junk already.
Mm,
And
yeah. Lots of satellites and just junk up in the sky
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
all of them because we don't take any of it down.
It just stays there. Yeah. Block out the sun one day.
Yeah,
It's like,
combat global warming.
yeah, as cool as down with all the chunks of metal up there. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, like when you were talking about like the innovation and just like efficiency, just the engineering and like getting it fine tuned, like kind of like they're looking into like quantum computation and stuff like that. That's obviously, um, I mean, it's very resource demanding still right now.
Yeah.
um but I mean, like all of this stuff is going to get more advanced, and I think that just kind of like got me in a headspace of it's probably not long before like a singularity. I have like another weird uh intuition I'll go on a quick tangent about is so I was talking about how we're doing this weird thing where we're creating intelligence which sort of informs us about our existence, right?
Mm.
So you can look at like it's like a microcosm, macrocosm kind of thing. So it's like if you can observe it on one scale, that informs you about bigger scale, right? So it is a little bit, it's not exactly proof, but it's informative. It's let's say evidential that we are designed. Now, what that means exactly is not that might sort of be like a semantics thing. It
Mhm.
doesn't necessarily, what I don't think it means is like a man in the clouds, right?
Right.
But like I think there's kind of like an implied design because of what we're doing, right? Kind of anyway, I think what happens is so um we we'll hit a singularity where we have like sort of like a hive mind,
Mhm.
like we're all connected to the same thing. And then very quickly, if especially if our computational abilities get faster, so like we integrate with technology, so now you're thinking at like an astronomically faster speed than you currently do. And if you're linked up with other things, so it's like you and I are having a conversation at like computer speed,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we're going to resolve every difference that we have until identity is completely dissolved. So we become, not only do we work out every disagreement we have, but also like our personalities break down until we just become a like single unit. And I think that is not desirable. So that thing that will become will get very jaded and bored with that,
Mhm.
and then create a simulation where it can pretend that it is not all the same thing,
Right.
like create areas of differentiation. So like imagine God in a vacuum, uh profoundly alone and bored, so creates reality so that it can
Follow already. I always said God was insecure because if he wasn't, he wouldn't have to create
yeah
everything.
yeah. And I think it's sort of unavoidable given enough time. You're going to, that's inevitably what you'll do is you'll make something, you'll start playing a game with yourself, like um so God like splits itself into a bunch of different iterations. So in this analogy I'm creating, it's like God is everything. So
Mhm.
it's like it's me, it's you, but it's also like all of the programs that run in our universe um, interacting with itself, so it has something to do. There might also be something educational or informative about it. But I think we're going to do that too.
Mhm.
And then the question becomes like, how many times have we done this already?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is that it's infinite in both directions. So um, I think we will create a simulation, and within that simulation, they will create a simulation, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And we're somewhere in an infinite amount of these iterations.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I think that's cool and horrifying, but like
Yeah, that too.
I've always loved simulation theory and all of that. My thing right now, and this might be a really hot take. I don't see artificial intelligence as
Mm.
intelligence.
Oh, certainly not. I mean, yeah. Well,
It's just like a really good word scrambler at this
mm,
point. Like it's a really intuitive
sure.
one.
It really
And
doesn't think anything.
no,
It's programs.
it's
Yeah.
able to look at Reddit and see how to formulate an answer to your question.
I totally agree with you. Is it also fair to say that that's true of us as well? Like, because think about it, like you react to the stimulus around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, you're given an input and you give an output based on that input.
For sure. Um, but we can also like drive ourselves to create that
Mm.
input in some way.
Yeah, I could,
Like I know that there's a Facebook for AIs now that they can go on and post and complain about the people that use them.
oh, wow.
It's called like Moltbook or something like that.
Whoa,
I don't know if it's real or not, but
that's funny. Even just as like an experiment, like a meme,
yeah.
that is funny. Yeah, I could do like, we don't really have to get that into the weeds with it, but I could do like an annoying determinist thing where it's like, um, any motivation that you have to do something is based on your prior experience, is
Yeah.
based on your biology, all of these myriad of factors that you couldn't possibly calculate, but they are different kinds of stimulus that lead you.
I mean, everything happens for a reason is something I believe it only is true backwards.
Mm. Oh, I like that.
No, nothing happens for a reason for something that you don't know yet. Everything happens for a reason for events you can trace to that point. Just
Interesting.
about like that's where that phrase like I get excited for, but like if someone says that to me and I haven't figured out the reason for something, it infuriates me to no end because I'm like, okay, but why? Like, where did we get here? Or like, if someone, something terrible happens and someone's like, well, everything happens for a reason. It's like, yeah, these are the reasons
Yeah.
that happened
Mhm.
that led to this.
Yeah. I like the philosophy of you can use that to explain the past, but doesn't lock you into a
Yeah.
future. I think that's a healthy way of looking at it. Um, and like where that's taking me in the conversation is that like two things can be true. You are the result of um, all of these different factors, but also you have some kind of free will and agency. I think both of those things can exist simultaneously. They're not really in contradiction with each other exactly.
Yeah. Free will, it's again, you can get into the determinist
Yeah,
thing. And like, I do that. I love doing that
yeah.
sometimes and just being like, well, how can free will exist if it's all just brain chemicals and
Hmm.
electrical signals? Um,
There's a thing called compatibility theory, which is basically that the two things don't actually conflict.
mm,
You make decisions, and those decisions are influenced by other factors that are out of your control. Like both of those statements are true,
yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of sort of like a false, like a false conflict. There's really no conflict there.
Like in therapy when you have to use and instead of but.
Hmm.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you've ever had
Actually,
to deal with that, but it's like I want to do this, but this, and it's like no, both of those things can be true. I want to do this, and I prefer staying at home
yeah,
on Saturday.
they're not in conflict. They're compatible. Yeah,
Yeah,
that. Yes, that is exactly. That's more concise way of what I was trying to say. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So I mean, yeah. I guess we were on AI and we got there, but yeah, it's just I don't know. Life is crazy.
yeah, other hot take about AI, real quick. I don't think it's as big an invention as the internet. I
Mm,
don't think it's the next big thing
mm.
as innovation.
Oh,
It's the place where
interesting.
a lot of money is going, but I don't think that it itself is the next big thing. And I think going back to our conversation, the way that ultimately we like figure out how to power it efficiently and do all that, that's going to be the next big
Mm,
thing because that's going to be a huge leap in our energy production or our cooling technology or our battery technology, something. It's going to be something that will fundamentally change like the things in your house or
mm.
like how you receive electricity in this day and age.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, these things are going to be able to like make physics and like engineering advancements,
Yeah.
and we'll see rapid. So okay, I like that. It's a vehicle to the next big thing.
Yeah, whatever that
Yeah.
is.
That makes me think too, like obviously if we have consumer level LLMs, like the kind of artificial intelligence that the government has is like so out of our scope.
Yeah.
Like into like realms of magic, And um I wonder, so when I see things that happen on like a world leader, like global conflict scale, I wonder how much of that is not to say that it's like a justification for anything that happens, but they're acting with information that we don't have, possibly about like how reality works. Or for example, kind of like to give a more direct example, there could be like levels of weaponry sort of that we have no concept of.
I 100% believe in that there are definitely levels of weaponry and like general technology that the government has that like like
Hmm.
we can't conceptualize because that's how it kind of always is. And then like 10, 15 years later, we get some piece of technology that we think is magic, but like
Yeah.
it was made to make people sad in another part of the world.
Yeah.
Um, but like, oh, I can't remember where my thought was going with that. Damn it. But I think our current world leaders, at least it seems like on our side, might just be using like the free chat GPT or something like that. That's just kind of how it feels.
Yeah. They don't give Trump the
he,
good tech.
he doesn't get the login.
That's wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that is now we're talking about AI, and you have a lot of musicians on here. So like, do you see any place that music or that AI should exist or can exist in art and music or coexist with the artist?
I can think of one singular example.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Glorb?
No.
Okay, I'll show you after this. But basically, I think Glorb is awesome personally, but it's this rapper uses like a voice changer to
Uh-huh.
sound like SpongeBob characters.
Okay.
So it's all the SpongeBob characters rapping, and the AI part of that is the voice changer, like the
Okay.
voice modulation stuff.
So like, okay, that is because when I say AI, I guess
Mm.
I'm generally talking about like LLMs
Largely, okay.
because like
Yeah.
there are a lot of things in music and video production that are absolutely unavoidable.
Mm.
If you upload a video or something, it's going to get upscaled to 4K.
Okay,
And
I
so
got
like
you.
you can't remove AI from that. Like a lot of your tools in your DAW are going to be AI powered. A lot of your
Yeah,
they were large language learned like over the past decade, but we didn't think about them as AI
I got you. I
in
see
the
what you're
way that.
saying.
So like
Specifically LLMs.
I'm thinking more specifically LLMs, Suno, Udio, those
Mm.
types of things.
Well, did you see NVIDIA's DLSS thing?
Uh, I saw that it made some faces real weird in the new
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, it looks like shit. It looks
Yeah.
awful. So basically, if you don't know, NVIDIA just did a tech demo of DLSS 5, which is like it's I don't know exactly how it works, but it takes a game and then in real time upscales the graphics. And it's getting a lot of shit because it doesn't make it look any better. In fact, it makes it look a lot worse. And it doesn't just like enhance like the contrast on shit. It'll make changes to the thing itself. Like that's what part of the big criticism is that it changes the art direction. So it's
It's
like this character is supposed to look sad and they don't look as sad now.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know if you've noticed this on YouTube recently, but they've been slapping a little AI filter on a whole bunch of shit on
Really?
there. Yes, you now if you upload a video to YouTube, like you basically have to sign up to get it to allow it to like train their model a little bit.
Oh
But
wow.
all of their videos for like the past 3 months, especially if you watch shorts, like if you like really pay attention, they got a little bit of that like AI matness and like
Huh.
and I think that they're just trying to make it so that it becomes very difficult to tell
Oh
what's AI
shit.
and what's not.
Because every video they're trying to make it where every video has it, so you really can't tell a
Yeah,
difference.
and then like why wouldn't YouTube then start using the videos that it trained on you to make their own videos to then just pay
Oh
their ad money
fuck.
to themselves?
Damn.
So that I think that's happening, and that was
That's
part of the
crazy.
DLSS thing is to maybe make it so that Nvidia maybe wants to actually toe in games or invest in games that have a heavy AI basis and don't want you to necessarily care how it looks.
Wow. Holy shit. I didn't consider any of that. I didn't know about the YouTube
Yeah,
thing.
the YouTube thing is
That's
weird.
nuts.
people are going back on their YouTube videos and being like, look, you can see like this is like weird artifacting that it did here and like threw some weird filter on here.
Whoa.
That's not just bad compression.
And you can't opt out of it?
I don't think
I
you
don't,
can.
I'll have to look at that next time I upload because like I upload to YouTube. I'll have to
Yeah.
see if there's like if they mention anything about it, or maybe I just like clicked the box one time and not didn't read it, you
I think
know?
it's probably one of those things they put it in an update to the terms and conditions.
Mm, yeah.
But
Wow, that's nuts. I had no idea. I mean, it makes sense because I see a lot of like content that is clearly has something weird going on with it.
yeah,
It's uncanny valley. Yeah.
definitely.
That sucks
yeah.
because instead of making the tech better, that's just like what if we made everything look like shit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's I hate that. Damn. Well, I was gonna say, like, to answer your question, I think the problem I have with the DLSS 5 and like that kind of technology is that it looks bad.
Mm.
Like, I don't really mind companies using that form of technology to sort of speed up production or like take some of the work off of like sort of the menial like minutia stuff
Yeah.
of game design. I don't really have a problem with them using those kind of tools. My problem is that it doesn't look good right now.
Yeah.
But you just raised an interesting like sort of like, well, here's an issue with doing that at all is, or at least the way YouTube's doing it.
Yeah, and like that's what I think is happening.
Mm,
That definitely AI things are being slapped on videos. People creators are noticing all of that for the intent that reason. That's why I think it's happening, and that just makes sense to me. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like same thing with AI music. There's a lot of something that is very odd about it. Like
yeah.
especially listening to it and like I can't bring myself to use like any of those tools. I don't even want to input an idea or
Mm,
something like that. I know people that use it for demoing and like and sure that's great. Like don't but the thing is then you don't have to pay a bunch of musicians to demo
mm,
your song out or whatever.
yeah.
Um but yeah, I mean, I think it can be used in music in a cool way. We just haven't found it yet.
I gotcha.
We've started with it started with the gamification of music,
Mm,
which was literally what Suno's business model was how can we make music a video game so that the average person can put in an
oh
input
wow.
and get something out and gamify it and then they can do whatever they want with it and then they so it was Suno was built with the and he says it a million times in like all of his different interviews and stuff like it
Wow.
was intended to be the Fortnite of music.
Holy shit. Um,
But like
yeah.
uh so like that I don't think has I personally don't feel like it has a place. I'm not going to poo poo anyone if it helps them with their workflow. um I will clown on you if you release a song with all AI musicians.
Mm,
um but like I think at some point there's going to be something cool with how it actually can work with sound
yeah.
and intent. Jojo Mayer, who's an awesome drum and bass drummer, he played with Nerve. Amazing guy. He's always been like pushing technology stuff. So he has like an AI oscilloscope thing that responds to his playing. So he can do the solo drumming thing, but it's like the whatever he's running is responding in real time with
Mm,
like different sounds and it's not trying to sound like music, like it's not trying to pull from other places,
yeah.
it's like literally trying to react to him in a way that it doesn't necessarily know, and that turns out real cool.
I think you're touching on something interesting here with that example is what's cool about that is that's novel and interesting and creative.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing we're talking about is almost like deceitful,
Yeah.
like it's not honest.
Yeah.
right? Because you're trying to make it sound like it's real people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not clear.
Yeah, you're not trying to make it sound like it's this crazy new thing that is like absolutely changing the way the world
Mm,
works. You're trying to treat it like it's for people you met in high school and that you're jamming
yeah.
in your basement and you came up with this cool thing.
Well, maybe we'll see like a serious like resurgency of live music as we move into the future.
I'm hoping so. Uh,
Because like just the amount like of like talented musicians that like we know and like are in our orbit is like that's I love live music, you know.
yeah,
And maybe, you know, as we get into this like augmented reality, like nothing's real, people will have like a real like thirst for just real seeing real
yeah,
music,
going to
real art.
see what it is. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we can only hope. I think still the biggest barrier to that is TikTok.
What do you mean?
Uh, I mean, if you're on, you can like it's kind of this weird thing where your phone is kind of the most entertaining thing in the world. It's
Oh,
literally
okay.
designed to be that. So,
Hmm.
like, for the average person, are they going to spend $10 to go
Hmm.
see a couple of bands that they don't maybe know? Or are they going to be entertained for their entire night and not have to do anything?
Man, you know, that might have like uh you got a good point there, but maybe it has something to do also with uh one is more affordable. Like people are
Yeah.
hurting right now. Um, and maybe that has something to do with it. Is one is made so accessible. I think like fast food's a good example of that, or like the way like nutrition and poverty works
Yeah.
is like this is accessible, but it's not good for you. Um, but also you get stuck in a cycle where it's like, well, if you're you know, like in poverty, how else are you gonna to feed yourself? Entertainment's kind of like that too.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. But I think it's gone, you know, I think it's gone deeper than just entertainment. I think that it does come down to, it goes further
Mm,
into just a general connection.
yeah,
Because it does also go to like, if you're tired and like your friend calls to hang out, like,
mm,
I think people are more apt now to turn down and people are more apt to accept it than they were maybe 10 or 15 years ago.
yeah,
Like 10 years ago, people are like, well, what else the fuck are you going to do tonight? Like,
right,
oh, you're
yeah,
tired. And it's like, no, I get it. Like, I could just watch net. Like, literally, like, I just need to stay in and watch Netflix all day is like not an excuse you get clowned on for anymore.
yeah, yeah. That's so sad because like,
I'm guilty of it. I'm definitely guilty
oh,
of that.
sure, me too. Yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, like, we're also tired and stressed out all the time. Like, life is tiring and stressful.
Part of it being on our phone because we were also not meant to see all this shit all the time, constantly.
Yeah,
We were not supposed to know what 100 people did in a day. That's
yeah,
that is something that is new to like the last 15
yep.
years.
And yeah, this is all new territory that
Our evolution just hasn't, it's not ready for it.
and it's moving so fast, man. I feel like back to art, like culturally, like even if we just stick in the realm of music, it's like the 70s was an era, the 80s were an era, the 90s was an era. It's like past like maybe you could say that about like the 2000s kind of, but it's like after that, it's like there are eras, but they're like in much shorter time frames
Yeah.
than that. Like the way like there's eras to memes, but the cycle on them is like a few months, you know. It's
Yeah.
not everything, it moves so fast now.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's just, and that is the, I mean, that's kind of the thing, like what social media wants to do and is good at is being, because if it's fast, there's always something new.
Yeah. Yep.
And but in the case of music, because things change fast, things I think things are getting samey faster
Oh,
now.
sure. Yeah, there's always something new, but it's never new.
It's never new, and it's like not necessarily new for long, because
Mm.
then as soon as that new thing comes out, then it gets playlist placement, and everyone else wants to make the new thing to get playlist
Yeah.
placement right underneath it. So like right now we're in this sweet spot where there's only one engine de poitrine, but in like 2 months there's going to be like five average of those.
That is so funny you'd say that. My buddy Keever just showed me them last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? With the microtones, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
It's
cool.
so fucking good. I've watched that KEXP performance like so many times, and like there's no reason why that should be the most popular KEXP
Mm.
video of like the last year. Like there's no reason for that weird band to like, I mean they fucking rock, but like we're talking about like grandmas know who who this weird band
Yeah.
is. Like we're talking like way beyond the general scope of like what weird music and like what people would consider weird music that you and I would be like, this is not weird, like in the
Mm.
slightest, but like
It's so
this is weird.
that's so funny because like my context on that is my buddy showed me that yesterday. I didn't know it was like fucking huge.
Yeah, no, like all these music channels are all doing reaction videos to it.
Wow.
Like I can't get away from it, from like people doing it, people covering it. I'm seeing now all these people doing things where they put like a bucket on their head and like tape a pool noodle
Mm.
to their face and like start playing drums, whatever. But like you're gonna, I think you're gonna hear boring versions of that sometime
Mm.
soon.
Damn. That yeah. Yeah, and that's so crazy because it's such a that's so weird and like not super accessible. Like it's definitely like it's a vibe, but like that it's weird to me that that would be super popular.
I think it goes back to your, it's something crave, that something people crave right now because it was absolutely not generated by AI. You
Yeah.
would have to put in such a
Mm.
specific prompt into any service to get anywhere close to that image before that KEXP performance was released.
Yeah. Yeah, what I mean, you're so right. Like it's so novel and interesting and like
Yeah.
yeah, yep. And now it's going to get processed and spit back out until the next thing happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
And like that's always been the case with music. Like
Sure.
every time new music comes out, like 10 years later, like whatever that first artist, that first genre is, like then it gets like everything gets real samey. Like rock went through that,
Hmm.
swing went through it. Like Count Basie played every way you can play a 12 bar blues.
Hmm.
He played all of the forms. And then like you can do so much, you can come up with melodies, but there's only a certain point where like it starts sounding so different from anything. Because if you're listening to things before, you're influenced by it.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I like playing drums through guitar pedals, because it's hard to find videos of that on
Hell yeah.
YouTube. And if you want to hear some of that, listen to Babylon, which is out now.
Check out Babylon and come to Bunny Roo at Eastside Bowl. 7 p.m. sharp, 7 p.m. sharp. We'll stick with that. 7 p.m. sharp. Yeah, don't miss it. It's gonna be a fucking excellent night of art that's not made by AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Christian, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you as always.
Good to see you too.
And yeah, we'll see you Eastside Bowl.